This week's blog is called Go Deeper. We are surrounded by people, and sometimes they're people that we really care about, and sometimes there's people that not so much. Quite often, though, we do things in the name of caring for somebody that we love, when in all reality, it's actually based out of a place of fear. Fear of what may happen to the person as well, but also a lack of control of what we can do in that person's life. And it's not necessarily out of true concern for the other person. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone you love, we'll call this person Lacey. She's having a really hard time in life. In fact, she's left her husband, and because of she's gone into this deep, dark depression, she's now started to do a ton of cocaine, and she drinks all the time. So when we're coming from an outside angle, and by the way, if you haven't experienced exactly what somebody else has experienced, you are coming from the outside, then there's a few things that we need to think about. Number one, talk to that person, especially if you care for them, like a human being. Don't pity them. Don't talk down to them like you're better than them in some way, and don't just judge them and treat them as lesser than thou. When you do that, a person will always put up a wall. And now they've got a mask on, and they're not going to talk to you in a real way, in any way, shape, or form. So don't pity that person that you're talking to. Sit down with them, talk to them eye to eye, and treat them as you would want to be treated. Of course, listen to them and care for them and sympathize with them, but don't pity them. Number two is don't offer help unless they ask for it. Now, that might seem a little controversial, but so often we think that we have the answers for somebody else's life when they're not at that place yet. Sometimes people have to really realize it for themselves. And in any case, it's their journey to walk. It's not our life to control. So if somebody that you love is asking for help, please step out and help them. But if nobody's asking for your help, then often it can just come across as self-righteous and judgmental, and then they won't be able to receive it anyways. And the third thing is, go deeper. And that's the whole blog that I'm talking about today. We often are so stuck on people's actions instead of trying to understand what's going on in their heart. We are so fixed on their habits and their behaviors instead of wondering what's happened to them and the pain that they're going through. Ask why they are doing these things instead of just being so appalled at what they're doing. Ask why instead of just looking at the actions, because so often somebody's had a lot of pain, had a lot of hurt, and now they're just trying to get by in life, and they just need somebody to hear their heart. So go deeper. When we read the New Testament, when Jesus walked the earth, if you actually read it, so often you will see that Jesus didn't walk up to somebody and start reprimanding them for what they did. The adulterous lady, no, he looked her in the eye. He got down to her level and he looked her in the eye. Zacchaeus, the tax collector, one of the worst people of his day, he basically stole from everybody around him. When Jesus went through town and he saw Zacchaeus up in the tree, he didn't start saying, "Zacchaeus, you bad man, get down from there. I can't believe you would steal from all these people. That's terrible. Come on, give back to them." He did nothing like that. He said, "Zacchaeus, I'm coming to your house for supper." And he sat with him, and he broke bread with him, and he treated him like his equal, which if anybody could be above the rest of us, it's God. And yet he sat with him, and he heard his heart. And because he just shared that relationship with him, Zacchaeus automatically, without being asked in any way, shape, or form, said, "I'm going to give back 3 to 4 times of what I've took." And so the point of the story being, it's not about just the habits and the actions. We got to go deeper. We got to stop being so offended and appalled at everything and see the pain that's behind it. If you care enough, of course. Just like I touched on last week, we cannot give what we don't have. And so if somebody's experienced a great tragedy in their life and now they're just trying to cope with it, who am I to expect them to do anything else than what they are doing to just get by right now? I haven't experienced it for myself, and if that happened to me, how would I react? In all honesty, I don't know. But I hope I would have some friends who would listen to my heart as well. So the next time you see somebody doing something that you deem awful, ask yourself why instead. I love this quote, and I'm going to end with it by Max Lucado. He says, "If the fruit of a tree is bad, you don't try and fix the fruit. You treat the roots. And if a person's actions are evil, it's not enough to change habits. You have to go deeper." So I hope that this has been an exciting blog for you, and have a great week.